Hello, it is Barbara, the East Coast Dragon Lady. I'm just coming on with a quick update on the Vatican dragons. I was actually going through some stuff on my website, and I realized that I had not done a video blog for some time. And the reason behind that is that I sort of came to a roadblock, and at the time I wasn't really sure why. When I first got that connection, I got lots of messages, lots of things happening. And then I've recently connected with Lara Starr, and some of you may know her. She she has talked on one of the classes I took with her. She talked about how she had actually gone into below the Vatican, and how there's a lot of dark energy, dangerous dark energy, and even with her knowledge, she had real trouble getting through some of the doors, and when she did, she came face to face with something she doesn't even want to talk about. So that immediately made me think, oh, that's why I haven't gone there. Now, does it mean that I won't go back there this year, next year? I don't know. But in the meantime, I have had, so I'm not going to do the below the Vatican stuff right there. I think if I'm going to, it's got to be more than one of us. And if you've been following me on any of my other platforms or any of my other videos, I've been talking about the direction the dragons are taking me in, which is spirit release, getting more involved in doing that sort of work, which is helping people transition, or stuck spirits transition over, which you touch on galactics, the darker side, all of that stuff. But it's more than one person. And even though I was collecting the nuns, and I'm sure that is still going to be happening, because when I've mentioned Vatican dragons for people, they've immediately sort of set up and said, oh, that's interesting. I have, however, seen the pod, the papal pod. So you know that the dragons called this, it's a pod shape, so it looks like a cloud, and it can almost look like what I would say a galactic ship, but it's cylindrical, very long. And always the giveaway is there's like a dragon tail hanging out the back, or like a dragon's foot hanging out somewhere, and you're like, oh, that. And there's always the signature of the papal pod is there's always two dragons going out front, and they're the escort dragons. I'm getting full body chills here, because they're saying this looks very similar to the galactics when they're flying lower, and when they're coming in. So these are high vibrational dragons like the galactics. So they're saying they're on the same sort of frequency. They're telling me they're not galactic. They're papal dragons. They're from the Vatican, and they were released. If you go to the beginning video, what they told me was when the new Pope was whenever he took over, his first thing he did was to release the dragons that were below the Vatican. They're on a peace mission, so they're continually going around the world. The image they've shown me is it's like dragon angel, all the way around the globe. This papal pod is, they're saying it's like a ship. It is somewhere where they can go to rest, because they're saying even though they're big and mighty, they sometimes need to go somewhere for a rest. And right now they're using this papal pod or ship, whatever you want to call it. Very galactic looking. It's got nourishment. It's got all the things they need to recuperate, is what they're showing me. So it's interesting, because I've also been seeing what to me look like they're sort of the layered clouds, but clearly it's a spaceship, ship. It's like they're staggered. I've seen that several times. So as you know, I'm also connected to the galactics, the galactic dragons, and the galactic beings. So it's sort of for me, often is I get these, they're going pods again, like these areas of interest or somewhere I get drawn to, and then they all start merging. So I get to understand why I'm connecting, and then they all sort of merge and make sense. So I always say sometimes things don't make sense to me, but I just absorb that. So I just wanted to do this one video so that if you've been following, you go, well, what happened? Because that's happened to me. I've looked at something on somebody's website and then go, well, what was the outcome? What happened? It's never the end, is what they're telling me. It's not the end. It's just I'm transitioning into using the information I have to go in I'm saying it's a slightly different direction, but it's still bringing all that knowledge with me, and that they're telling me that until I'd accumulated this knowledge and had an understanding of it for myself, I couldn't take this step in another direction. So I hope that's helped with some of your curiosities. If you pick anything up, you can always email me. You can find me at eastcoastdragonlady@gmail.com, or go to my website where you're probably seeing this video. You're catching me on YouTube. My website, again, is easy to find, www.eastcoastdragonlady.com. So lots of stuff on there. Lots of information about me, some of my services. I also do a 45-minute clarity call. So if you have information, you have questions, you want to find out about how I can help you on your journey, just shoot me an email and put clarity call or whatever in the comments, and let's connect. I love hearing how dragons are working with you. Because it's not just me, they're working with thousands of us. For me, they're my guardians. I've just mentioned on another podcast, another video that I did, that I now have my protector dragon, even though he's probably always been there. Only recently has he stepped forward so I can see him. He is a huge black obsidian dragon, a rainbow obsidian dragon, huge. I almost can't see him sometimes, is what he's saying. But it's like, that doesn't matter. It's just his energy is huge, and he just wraps it around me. So that was awesome when that came in a meditation doing something else, that he just stepped in and said, this is who I am. So it's all good. If you pick up anything, if you have memories of being a nun in the Vatican, that's the Order of the White Rose. There's a lot of us that are also having those memories. I always laugh because I don't practice a religion. I'm spiritual, but I do not practice a religion. I believe in a higher power, and I believe in all the other things. So just interesting that a lot of... So I'm saying it's interesting. So they're telling me, well, it's my past lives. So what's happening for me is these past lives are coming up for me to remember, so that I can connect with that past life and bring it into this one to help me with the work. That makes sense. It's funny, I sometimes do these things and it's sort of like talking to yourself in the mirror, and then I'm like, oh, that's why I'm doing it. So I've rambled again. Often that's what I do. If I keep talking, then it all comes out. So I hope that's helped. I will come back again if I get any more information. But in the meantime, check out my other stuff. And thank you for viewing this. And reach out. I'd love to speak to you. Thanks. Have a good one.